recording. 'Cause I almost forgot. Told you, Sharaine, you have to remind me.
I
Yes.
forgot.
So
I forgot.
I
You good
know,
though.
right? I know. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and give you all a brief introduction. If you all haven't met her as of yet, she is phenomenal. So get ready, get ready, get ready. All right. So I'm going to introduce you all to Miss Sharaine Richards. She is the owner of Infinity Business Alliance, a company that specializes in helping business owners and real estate investors leverage a variety of financing options to grow and scale their businesses. Sharaine relocated from New Jersey to Atlanta in 2019 and started her entrepreneurial journey by selling apparel online. After experiencing the struggles that many entrepreneurs face when trying to build up their businesses, she recognized that one of the biggest issues, and I got people constantly coming in, y'all. She realized that one of the biggest issues holding her back and holding other aspiring business owners back was access to capital. She used her struggles as motivation to become an advocate for entrepreneurs just like us. This led her to develop her business, Infinity Business Alliance. And Miss Sharaine, I want you to go ahead, take the floor, honey, and give them the rest of the spiel.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that amazing introduction, Anita. I thank you everyone who took the time out to join us this evening and being part of the discussion. So to piggyback on what Anita said, with Infinity Business Alliance, we specialize in helping business owners and real estate investors with getting access to resources that they can use to be able to grow their business, scale their business. And when I started Infinity Business Alliance, the primary focus was just helping people get access to financing. And when I was going to all these different networking events and conferences, I realized that financing is really only one aspect that, and there's just everyone's at a different level. And so I realized that we needed to take things a step further and start to expand our services so that way we could offer value to people who are at all different levels. Everyone is just not at the position where for traditional that you can help build them, help them build with in order to help them get there. So that's why we decided to expand and offer extra service, helping people with their business credit, their personal credit, a lot of the foundational things to really help set their business up the right way. So that way you're on mute.
Girl, thank you.
I
Thank you so much, Sharaine, for
got you back.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know you do. So thank you so much for adding in there, more about what you do and your passion for what you do. I've seen you in action. You were at the Fund Your Future Summit in March that I hosted. That was awesome and phenomenal. People are still talking about it. We can't wait, and we're working on getting to next year. And we're doing all this kind of stuff so that people will see some of the stuff, if they weren't there, what they missed, and just get a little taste of what we will be adding along the way until next year's summit as well. So thank you so much, Sharaine, for that. And what we're going to do, you all, I'm just going to give you a little flow of what's going on. First of all, it looks like I might be having some internet problems off and on because you all have been you've been freezing up on me. So I'm assuming it may be my internet. So I may have to adjust and move around to a better space, but we're going to keep the train going, right? The next thing is to get the conversation started. What we decided to do is ask some general questions that Sharaine encounters a lot with the people that she talks to on a regular basis. So we'll kind of use those to get the conversation started, like I said. And so with that, with your questions, if you all would, so we can flow through this as smoothly as possible. Save your questions toward the end. If you go ahead, either put them in the chat, because I'll be checking that a little bit later, as we go along, or you can jot them down so that when the Q&A section session starts, you can go ahead, raise your hand, come off mute, and ask your questions, okay? So we appreciate that very much. Of course, keep your mics muted, if you would, during the presentation, so that we won't have any background noises or anything like that. Hopefully, everyone is in a quiet place, so when you do come off mute to talk to us, we won't have any problems communicating, all right? So I appreciate you all in regards to all of that. So, Ms. Sharaine, I know that you encounter and you talk to a lot of people on a regular basis, right? And so one of the questions I know that we wanted to address and talk about is, how are you able to go into detail about what are some of the different financing options available to business owners and entrepreneurs?
That is definitely an area that I feel like all business owners can benefit from. Is one, just having the education about what's actually out there, because most people, they may be familiar with one or two options, but they're not. There are a lot of different financing options that are available to business owners. So the way that I like to think about it is in the form of like three buckets. So one bucket is real estate financing. One bucket is what I like to call like long-term financing options. And another bucket would be what I like to call working capital. So with real estate financing, that is specifically financing for real estate investment properties. So that is your fix and flips, Airbnbs, long-term rentals, commercial property acquisitions, land acquisition. Type of financing that has to do with real estate is a whole different aspect of financing in itself. Then with the long-term financing options, I like to think of that as financing where you get a lump sum of you get the access to the resource, but then you pay it back over a certain period of time. So one of the small business loans, and that's one option that I know a lot of business owners are already pretty familiar with, where you apply for the small business loan, also known as a SBA loan, and you have a set amount of money that you're looking for. And if you get approved, they give you the access to all of the funds up front, and then you just pay that back over time. Then another option that I would consider also in that bucket would be equipment financing. Now, with equipment financing, you're not getting necessarily capital in all of those cases, but you are getting the equipment that you need for your business paid for by the lender. So with equipment financing, use that for any type of equipment that your business may need. Vehicles, financing medical equipment, financing vending machines, financing any type of music equipment, video equipment, any type of equipment that has some sort of value that you would need to acquire for your business. You can get that financed by an equipment lender. And with equipment financing, there are different types of equipment financing options. So similar to like when you lease a car, you can lease equipment. You can you can do like lease to own, where you're leasing it and eventually the goal is for you to own it. You can lease it and just lease it for a period of time, and then when that time period is up, give it back to them. You can also do what's called sale lease back, which means you already own the equipment outright yourself. You sell it to the lender and then they lease it back to you. So in that instance, you would actually get the money, the fair market value for the equipment, and then the lender would set up a payment schedule where you would just pay it back over time, but you get the the cash injection up front. You get to keep the equipment, and then you just make payments on it over time as if you were leasing it, even though it's your equipment that you already own. So that's those two I would consider as a part of like the long-term options. And then the third bucket would be the working capital. So with working capital, those are essentially cash advances and lines of credit. So with cash advances, one type of cash advance is called a merchant cash advance. And a merchant cash advance is when you get an advance on your annual sales. So say your business is projected to make, 50,000 in sales and over the year. You can get an advance on that income and be able to just pay it back to the lender over time. So if you need that cash injection, you can ask them to give you an advance on your annual sales and pay it back over time. Another option with cash advances is invoice financing, which is also known as factoring. And with this financing option, you are getting an advance on your unpaid invoices. So for some of you, you may be able to relate to when you have these invoices that you have to wait to get paid, maybe 30, 60, 90 days out. It can impact the cash flow of your business. So if you have, say you have a invoice that it's a 90-day invoice. So that debtor, they don't have to pay the invoice for 90 days. So instead of you waiting 90 days for you to get that cash injection for your business, you can reach out to a lender that does factoring, ask them to give you an advance on this unpaid invoice, and they will actually give you an advance of a portion of that money, and they will collect the rest of it from your debtor. So when the debtor pays it, they would pay the lender because the lender has already given you that money up front. So those are cash advances. Another form is the business credit. So there's business credit cards, and then there's a business line of credit. And the difference is with a business credit card, it works similar to a personal credit card in the fact that it's money that you get your credit limit, and it's money that, if you need it, you use it, and then you pay interest on what you use. But the difference with a business credit card and a business line of credit is a business line of credit has more flexibility. So, there's certain limitations with credit card. You can't use a credit card to pay for everything. So for an example, payroll, with payroll, you can't put payroll expense on a business credit card. But with a business line of credit, if things get tight, you can say, I'm going to withdraw funds from my business line of credit, pay my payroll, and then I'll pay that back once I get, more revenue coming. So it works this like in a similar way of a business credit card, but it's actual funds that you can draw from, where you don't have the same limitations that you would with a business credit card. So that is one, the business line of credit is one that I recommend for every single business if you're eligible for it, because the benefit of it is you actually get to use these funds when you need it in an emergency. So if you have something where you need a large cash advance, a large lump sum of cash, and you don't want to use your business revenue and risk completely emptying out what you have for your business, you can use that business line of credit and then just pay that back, and you only pay interest on what you use. So if you have a business line of credit and it's just $10,000 sitting there, well, if you use it, you don't have to pay anything. So, but when you actually use it and draw funds from the line of credit, then you would just pay interest on that as you pay it back. So it's definitely a great safety net for any business. If your business is eligible for it, you should 100% have a business line of credit to pretty much be your safety net in the event of unexpected expenses.
Woo!
That was a lot. That was a lot. I hope y'all were taking notes, because
Oh my
that
God.
that
Yeah, my hand hurts already. So
was
you I was over here getting it, boy. I was like, okay, I
I
I got
saw
questions
you.
already. I got questions already. So I'm just gonna since I'm the host, I'm gonna go and sneak in a couple of my questions now, if you don't mind. So
Yeah, that's your perks.
yes, yes, thank you, ma'am. So going back to the selling back of equipment, I never heard of that. That's interesting, right?
Hmm.
So, what is the benefit? So, okay, so I already own this equipment outright, correct?
Yes.
So, what is the benefit, I guess, of me selling it to, I think you said the lender or to who?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then for them to lease it back to me? Is it because I'm getting money and I'm getting money from it and then
Hmm.
I'm having to lease it back to myself? Yeah, what is the benefits account? Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So the benefit of the sell leaseback option is, say you already have, let's just for instance use a car. So say you finance a vehicle for your business and you need a cash injection to take care of something. You need a cash injection because you want to scale, but maybe you're not eligible for certain financing options. Maybe you don't like the options that were offered to you. One route that you could take is say, okay, well, I have this vehicle that I know has, X amount of value, even if it's $5,000. I know it's worth at least $5,000. So rather than me try to find, get into a bad situation where I really just need $5,000 and I'm not trying to get locked up into something that's long term. I would rather use the value of this car that I already own. I don't want to sell it because I still need it for my business. But if I sell it to the lender, I get to keep the car, and then I get what the value that the car is worth, that cash injection of that $5,000, and then I can just make payments on that to basically pay that off over time. So it's just a different type of financing option that allows people who may not be eligible for some other financing options, and they have equipment that has value, that they can essentially be able to sell to the lender, get the value of that equipment paid to them up front, keep their equipment, and just make payments on it over time.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. So, quick question. No question is stupid, so I'm not going to say that. But
Right. No question is stupid.
right, right.
We're here to
So,
learn.
yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for clarifying that. So, is that actually a situation that can be used with the car? Or you were just kind of using it for an example.
Yeah, yeah, it can be used with the car.
Wow. So, when you
Yeah.
say sell it to a lender, you mean just any type of lender?
Well, well, specifically lenders who want to finance equipment. So if there's all types of equipment lenders out there. So you would want to sell it to an equipment lender because that's their whole business model, is to finance equipment, and the sale leaseback is just one of the options that many lenders have available in order to finance equipment.
Okay, and that's the same as with a vehicle as well? I mean, how does that work?
Yep, it's the same as with the vehicle. You would once you have, like, so say you have a vehicle and you're this is something that you're thinking of using in that scenario. You would reach out to the lender and let them know, like, I want to see, if this is the equipment that I have, here's the information about it. What is the fair market value that I would be able to get for it? Is this something that you would be willing to do, like a sale leaseback option? And every lender might not think that, they might have different options. One lender might say, well, I think this is worth 3,000. Another lender might say, I think it's worth 5,000. Another lender might say, like, we're not interested in that particular equipment. So it's just, you just have to kind of see what's out there, see what's available, but it's definitely an option that you can use for a vehicle.
And is that like, so it's not like banks, or is it maybe like, Well, I'm sure. Well, you have all the lists of all those kind of
Yeah,
finance folks. So yeah,
we
okay.
got all of them.
Me and you might need to talk a little bit later on that. Okay. I'll move on to my next question, which is you were talking about. You suggest that all business owners try to get a business line of credit if they qualify.
Yes.
So I wrote down, well, how do you get it, and how are you eligible? So I guess that's kind of sort of the same question. Um, so how would you see if you're eligible for something like that?
So business lines of credit, they typically start out at 5,000 in monthly revenue. Most lenders, that's usually where they start at with their business lines of credit. So that is where I will put your target at. So once you get to the point where you can say I make at least 5,000 a month in revenue, then that's when I would recommend you to start looking into the business lines of credit.
Okay. Awesome. Yes, ma'am. This is some good
And good
stuff.
credit, good credit too also plays a role in that.
Oh, personal credit?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So if this is good to y'all, go ahead and put in the chat, put some ones, because she is giving it to us, right? Y'all go ahead and put some ones in the chat so we know y'all listening and you are getting this information. Oh, Jabari got four ones up there. I know that's right, Jabari. I
I
know
hope
that's
y'all are
right.
taking notes.
Yes, and this is being recorded, of course, so I will share it with you all later on. So that's another, bonus of being here and us being able to look at Eric. I know, yes, ma'am,
I love it.
all them's and some more. I love it. I love it. Yes. So our next question we're going to move on to is so Sharaine, tell us, how do you know when it is the right time to start utilizing financing to scale your business?
So I think that with financing, there isn't a one specific time that works for everyone. It really depends on your business model more than anything else, because there are certain business models that require financing to really get it started. And there are certain ones where you can kind of build the business up over time organically. And then as you get to the point where you're ready to scale, that's when you would start looking into the financing options. So I would say to really look at your business model as a determinant of when you're ready for financing. So if you have like a service-based business where you are providing services to people and you're building up your clientele, then that's something that if it doesn't really require inventory, that's something that you can kind of continue to just build up through word of mouth, through networking, as you can build that up. And then when you're ready to scale and when you're ready to start adding on to it, that's when you can look into, what type of financing options are available to help me take it a step further. But if you have a business that's like a product-based business where, you have to buy the product and you have to, get certain things in place before you can really launch the business, or even in order for you to take the business to the next level, then that's the point where you want to start looking at, well, what financing options are available to me that are necessary right now. Obviously, if we could, everyone would just love to have an injection of $50,000 into their business to get it going. But you want to make sure that your business is in a place and in a standing where that's something that you need and that's something that you're ready to take on, because you're still going to have to pay that money back if you're taking out a large lump sum like that. So you want to make sure that you have the revenue to be able to support those type of loans. So it's just a matter of where your business is at and understanding, what do I actually need in order for me to get to that next level. And that's what we help you with.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, that is awesome. So, a question that I thought about while you were talking about that, I know how important it is to have a business plan. I have been through courses. I actually went through a boot camp last year and graduated, I think June of last year, where we learned how to do a business plan by the numbers. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but I learned a lot. I am not good with numbers, y'all. I just like to have them in my purse, in my pocket, on some
I know that's
green,
right.
and in the bank, and some assets. But anyway, um, I know it's important to have that business plan, right? So,
Yes.
can you tell me? Because I've been working on some of my clients, helping them with what we call a lean business plan. I know there's different types for different purposes, right?
Hmm.
So, what type? And I'm sure they need one for some of these things that you're talking about, if not all of them.
Yeah.
um, what type of business plan would they need? Would they be able to get away with the lean, or just um, focus more on a financial type business plan? Because that's what we developed in that course I was in. So, what kind of business plan would you recommend?
So it depends on what type of business. That's a really good question. It actually depends on what type of business that you're in. That's another one where it's not necessarily a one solid answer that will work for everybody. So, for instance, if you have a business that has already is already set up, is already proven, you have revenue that you can show, and your business is in good standing, with that, you can get away, depending on what type of financing you're looking for, you can get away with mainly just focusing on the financials of, this is what my profit and loss statement looks like. This is what my budget looks like, my balance sheet, and just look, basically being able to show this is the income, this is the expenses for my business, and just maybe like in a roundabout executive summary one pager of this is my business. But for businesses that are just getting started and they don't really have a lot of revenue to stand on, and you're trying to get a lender to invest in something that's not proven, that's when you want to have a very detailed business plan. You want to really get down into all of the details of your experience in this business, how it ties into what you do, how you expect to make money, how long you expect it to take for you to make money. Here's my budget, here's all of my projections. That's when you don't have the proven revenue, you need to be as detailed as possible, because you have to get them to believe in your vision and show them that, like, this is going to be profitable. So already have if you're already set up, then it's a lot easier because it's proven. So the numbers don't lie. But if you are just getting started and you really don't have that track record, you're going to have a very detailed business plan.
All right, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
And I know, you know, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but doing something like that is intensive. If you understand what a business plan, like she said, if you're just starting out, you want that detailed one. It is extensive. So, but it's important, right? We want the money, but a lot of times we're like, oh, I don't have time for that, or well, you hire somebody to help you with that kind of stuff, or you get an intern, or whatever. So just know that you're going to need it. All right.
Yeah.
And that's with even, with grants. It helps along the way with grants as well. So I ain't gonna get into my spiel. I have to do that tomorrow night. But but having a business plan, I just want y'all to hear it from the expert when it comes to financing and getting those, finances that you need for your business, that it is very important to have that. Okay.
And I do want to mention that there are free resources out there where
Mhm.
people will actually help you put together your business plan. So SCORE is one of them. If
Mhm.
you are in need of, resources for your business, SCORE basically offers free mentorship where they'll, pair you with someone one-on-one who can help you with that. So you don't always have to, put money out. It's just, a matter of committing and, making time to do it.
That's right. And I know years ago when I first heard about, and learned about SCORE, and one of the businesses I started, like I said, a long time ago, I utilized them. And Now they're not going to, like she said, they're not going to do the work for you,
Mhm.
but they will give you, they will help you with resources to help you. Like, I know at that time they even gave me a template to be able to, plug in my information, and things of that nature. So don't think they're gonna they're gonna do the work for you. You
Yeah.
still have to do the work. You have to do your research. So, but that I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you so much for sharing that. There are resources out there that you all can reach out to for that. All right, going on to the next question. So our next question is, and don't forget, you all start writing down your questions. You start putting them in the chat as well, because I'll be checking back there during our Q&A part of the presentation. Okay. All right. So our next question is, for an entrepreneur who has never been through the process of trying to get financing for their business, what can they expect during this process?
Good one, good one. So with the financing process, the biggest advice that I would give to business owners is to be organized and be patient. The more organized you are, the better it will make the process for you, because there are certain documents that the lender is going to request that if you have it on hand, it's simple. It's a matter of, okay, you need this, this, and that. Okay, I send that out and it's no problem. But when you have to go scurry and searching through emails from 5 years ago, then that's when it
Mhm.
takes so much longer in order for you to be able to get what you need submitted. So a couple of documents that I would mention to just have on hand and start getting that organized, and get it organized now, so that way when you are ready and in a position where you are actively looking for financing, it's not a shock, it's not a surprise. You don't have to go scrambling and taking up your time looking for it. You already know where it's at. So your LLC documents, I would keep those organized, keep them all in one place. That's your articles of organization, that's your EIN number, the actual SS form, the SS4 form, not just the number itself. Because, and I mentioned that specifically because I had a client who she had her EIN number, but she didn't have the official form that the IRS gave her. So we were moving forward with the lender and we were in the process of gathering her documents to submit. And that was the hard stop. She just had her EIN number. They said specifically, we need to see the actual official SS4 document from the IRS, and she didn't know where it was. She couldn't find it. She
Mhm.
said, "Well, I mean, I've had my business for years. That I got that when I first started my LLC." And it was unfortunate that we weren't able to move forward because she didn't know where the document was, and she didn't want to go through the process of reaching out to the IRS to get a copy of it. So that can be a hard stop for you if you don't have your documents together. So like I said, the articles of organization, the EIN form itself, not just the number, your operating agreement, especially if it's a business that has more than one owner. And then other documents that they'll typically request, 2 to 3 months of your business bank account statements. They may ask for 2 to 3 years of your tax returns. And then, the profit and loss statement, the balance sheet, things like that for certain lenders. All of it all depends on what type of financing that you're going after. But those are just some typical general documents that lenders typically request. So just having easy access to those documents can make the process a lot easier for you. But just like I said, be organized, have your documents together, be patient, because it is going to be a lot of back and forth. And just have an idea already in your head that it's going to take some time. So like with real estate transactions, those are typically like 3 to 4 weeks. For like the single family property transactions, commercial property transactions take longer because they're larger transactions. For small business loans, you're looking to like at 45 to 90 days for that transaction. Equipment financing is quick. That's a couple of weeks. And working capital, that's the quickest one. With that option, you can get funding in a couple of days. But so that the working capital is the one where, you know, you don't have to expect it to take you know, more than a week or two. But with all the other options, just be mentally prepared that, you know, it's going to take some time.
That is such awesome information, because I actually wish one of my clients was on here. I forgot to. I don't know if she ever reads her emails, but anyway, I just I was just telling her that, I just helped them get their EIN number, and I saved that. You say it's S4. What is it again? SS4 form.
SS4.
I printed it out, put it in their folder. I saved it in their folder on my laptop, and I sent it to her. And what I told her is, I said, look, go ahead, start you a binder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get you some protective sheets, put it in there, because this is what I did the years ago, and I still have all this stuff. And you keep all of your important documents in this binder so you'll always know where they are. Because I can tell you from experience how hard it is trying to get anything from the IRS. Can you see it in my face? Look at my face, y'all.
See the urgency.
I don't even want to go into the whole story because we'll be here all night. But I have yet to hear from them because I changed the name of my business, but the EIN number was connected to it. So, I'm doing all these new things. And so I needed to know, if it's been changed, because I'm starting to put this on, legal documents, and I don't want to one name show up and it's another name.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, okay, y'all, I can't. Oh my God, I was so stressed out. When people, okay, so I waited almost probably 2 hours to get through,
Oh,
even though I
wow.
called right when they opened, right? Um, and then the lady, I never got my answer because I couldn't verify the address that I first applied. I
Oh,
gave her every address to almost when I was living with my mama. Okay. I'm serious, except when I
wow.
was in the military. Nope, that's not it. No, sorry. And I mean, that was it. I couldn't even. So to this day, I still don't know if it's connected. But I can't continue to wait. I got to move forward. So prayerfully, everything is right. So I just said all that to say, you all, make sure you keep your stuff, number one, organized and in order. Like she was saying, keep it together, keep it in order, back it up in many places. Okay. And if you can, make sure that whatever whatever your name and your organization, whatever those things are, that's what you want it to be. Not to say you won't change it later, but I'm telling you, it can be a hard process. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm glad you shared that, because that's an important aspect is, you know, one, you know, learn from her mistake, you know, like when you are in this process, and a lot of people just kind of want things to go quick, and it's like, okay, I got the LLC, I got the EIN, I'm ready to go. And it's like, it's take a step back and make sure that like you're organized along the way, because when I tell you, when you just start going and don't put anything in place to keep up with stuff, and then you're trying to, you know, a year later trying to go back, 2 years later, 3 years later trying to go back and find stuff, it is a huge headache. And it's going to make your life 10 times harder. So just take the extra time now that it requires to, you know, whatever method works for you. Anita uses her binder. I'm a Google Drive girl. I think electronics, so I put everything in my Google Drive folders. But you know, whatever method works for you, just find a way that you can stay on top of everything, keep it all in one place.
yes. And like I was saying, I suggest keeping it in many places. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
like you said, your Google Drive. I have an external storage as well that I plug into my laptop. I put stuff in there because it has a lot of storage. Have a physical copy. You might want to put one, you can have somebody else keep one. All of these very important documents, you all, please, I'm telling you from experience, please have them in numerous places so that you can find them, because You don't want to be like, like she said her client was, and was right there and had did all of that and then could not proceed because of not having a document. So
One document.
one document. And I just hate to hear that for anybody. So yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, and I know one thing I wrote down. Do you happen to have a checklist with some of those documents that, basic documents that people would need? Do you share that with your clients or?
I actually haven't put together a checklist, but that is a really good idea. That is a really good idea. You just gave me a good idea. That's something that I should definitely work on putting together for people because it is basic things, but unless you are, I've went through the process many times with different people, so I have an idea of what they're going to ask for. But if you
Mhm.
haven't been through that process, you don't really know how to prepare for what they're going to ask for. So that's a good idea for me to put that together. I'm gonna work on that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Look,
We
look how look
appreciate
how look
that.
at Anita helping y'all get
Girl, look, you know how I be doing. I be
some
doing it.
extra.
Yes, yes. Man, we gonna work together, baby. We're gonna make this happen. Yes, we're gonna help our clients as much as we can. Okay. Yes, Jabara, we bringing that fire, boo.
Yes.
We is. Yes, thank you so much for that. So I got so many papers around here. Okay, there my questions are. All right, so the next question we have is what are some of the challenges? And we might have touched on some of them, but tell us a little bit more about some of the challenges you've seen business owners face that has prevented them from being able to get approved, and how would you recommend they correct it?
Okay, so outside of a big one is the organization having all your documents together. So that is definitely one of them. Another one that I would probably say is they're both equally important. 1A and 1B would be your credit. So a lot of people they think that with because it's through their business that it doesn't really, their personal credit doesn't really matter. Your credit is everything. It is the link to a whole different world for you, whether it's business or whether it's personal. Your credit is going to be the building block for everything else. So a lot of clients when they come to me, they want access to the funds, and the thing is I work with a variety of different lenders, so I see people at all different levels. I see people who have really good credit and I see people who have credit that's not as good, and the difference in the options that are available with people who have good credit and people who don't, it's night and day, honestly. So the number one thing that I would recommend to focus on is building your credit. If you already have good credit, great. Keep on doing what you're doing. Keep that and do whatever you can to keep that in good standing. If you are in the process of working on your credit, or if say you've had bad credit and you're just you haven't really paid much attention to it, I would say to start working on that now, because you want to build that before you need it. So when you get to the point where you actually need access to funds and capital, you don't want the credit to be what will hold you back. So that's actually what inspired me to start adding on additional services, adding on helping people build their personal credit, helping people build business credit, is because when I was dealing with a lot of clients, that was also a hard stop for a lot of people. We were either really limited and the options that were available to them because of their credit, or we were able to get them some offers, but the terms were very high, the interest rates are high, the payments are high, because when the lender looks into their credit history and they see missing payments, late payments, or they don't have, some people, they just don't have enough credit. If you're not utilizing credit, that also works against you. So as crazy as that sounds, but that's just how the game goes. Like, you have to be actively having resources available where you're building that credit and you're keeping it in good standing, because it literally changes the game. And if you don't make that a focus, you are taking yourself out of the game, because now you don't have that ability to be able to leverage these different financing options to help you grow and scale. And you're just going to be limited to what you can be able to do on your own. But if you really make it a point to focus on building up your credit, then it opens up so many other doors for you, access to more options, better terms, better rates, and it just makes it a lot easier for you to be able to build your business up. Even if you don't have like proven business history, the fact that you have good credit is going to make a lender look at you and say, well, I mean, they have the history to back up that they pay their bills on time. So I'm more willing to take a chance on them than I would be with someone who doesn't have any experience in this industry. And when I'm looking at their credit history, it shows that they have a history that looks like they're high risk. So it definitely it helps you so much just to be able to really focus on building up that credit. And one of the resources that I'm going to be making available in the next couple of weeks is the Get Richer Guide to Building Business Credit, where I lay out a step-by-step plan for business owners of how you can build business credit starting from zero. And this is a proven plan. I know that it works because I used it myself. So it's already been tested and proven, and I'm going to be making that available to everyone as well. So I'll be releasing that in the next couple of weeks. But we've also have personal credit assistance as well, where we can help you one-on-one with building your credit. I connected with Anita, who she opened my eyes to another resource of the do-it-yourself credit repair, where you can be able to learn the process of building up your personal credit completely on your own using technology to help you through that process. So we have all type of resources available to be able to help you do that, but you have to be willing to actually take the steps that it requires to do it. But don't wait until the last minute. Get on top of that as soon as you can.
So just to say some of the experiences I've had when you were talking about that, my mind went back to all these times where I have worked with organizations or groups or individuals to help me build my personal credit. Right
Mm-hmm.
there is I'm very transparent and open. There's one fund and grow it fund and grow is whatever. I tried with them a few years ago. And let me tell y'all, $3,500. I ain't just got $3,500 just laying around just for be.
Mm-hmm.
So I paid this money, right? Because at the time I had my little money stacked up, right? Okay, I'm like, okay, let me do this because I'm about to, do this business, get in this business game, right? So I paid this money to these people, and I got in there, did all, got into their platform, did all the stuff they told me to do, and then, they set up a consultation with you. So I got on the call with them, and they wouldn't go any further with me when they found out
Wow.
what my credit score was. Well, the thing is, what I liked about them was, they said that even if your personal credit isn't ready, you're not ready with your personal credit, we're gonna work with you. And even if you pay this money now, we'll wait till your personal credit gets where it needs to be, and then we'll help you start building your business credit. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, cool, because I know the sister gonna need some help, right? And so they would send me these generic letters to send out, and they would set the appointments to talk to me. I talked to them various times throughout my process of trying to improve my credit.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, that's been okay, y'all. I think that was 2020.
Wow.
You know, I done paid out $3,500. I still don't have any business credit because the,
Wow.
yeah, the process, I'm sure I could have did more on a lot of different things, but it was like I didn't think that process through enough. I'm like, okay, am I going to do my due diligence and do the things they tell me to do or whatever? And I did the letters and I did some of that stuff, but it just never got to where it needed to be, and they didn't really keep in contact. I always had to reach out to them, of course. So that was one time I did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I tried it again, y'all. Probably a couple of years after that. I think it was probably last year or so. It might not even been too much after that. Paid about the same amount of money again. Nothing. Okay.
Ouch.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So I ain't learned my lesson, right? So this year, me and my sons decided we were going to, build our credit. We was going to do it as a family. We had met this guy, he seemed really, credible and everything. And so we gave him an initial payment for him to get started. And we were having conversations with him off and on. But me, I'm a detailed person. I like, after we paid him, I was like, you know what? We don't have anything in writing with this guy. And I'm not used to doing business like that. So, I was like, well, y'all reach out to him and see if we can get some kind of, what is the process? Tell us what the steps are so we'll know what to expect after 2 weeks or after 6 weeks or whatever, whatever. And, just all of a sudden it's hard to get in contact with him and all that. So finally we started seeing, some stuff. I started getting some letters in the mail from the different bureaus or whatever. But still, I'm not hearing from you, dude. We done paid you, hundreds of dollars and we're not getting, So that's when I ended up going the route that I am now. I am so grateful that I came across the AI credit repair, DIY, because I've started to see changes already. I
Wow.
went in the process, I went in the system, did what it told me to do. I printed out the letters, went to the thing, sent it certified mail, you know, and probably in a couple of weeks, I don't know which one it was. I don't remember which credit bureau it was, but I know I saw something in my Mint. I use Mint to help me with some of my finances.
Hmm.
And it went up 20 points. So I was like, okay, so something is happening. Hello, thank you.
Nice.
So yes, you all please don't do like me and just continue to give people money that you don't need to give to, and find a system that works for you. Sharaine said that is very important when it comes to this. I didn't realize how important it was when I was spending out all these thousands of dollars. Take it from us, take it from people that have made the mistakes, and then those that have, like you said, tried and true method, and it has worked for her.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm loving it. So
And the education part is so important,
mhm,
just giving your money to someone and saying, okay, fix it. That's not the way to go. Like I know a lot of people, they feel like I don't have the time. I don't really want to be involved in this process, but credit is so important. You need to be involved in that process. You need to actually understand, how do I fix my credit? How do I improve I need to understand this process. I don't want to just hand it over, one, because you may hand it over to someone who's just going to take your money and then peace out. So that's just one aspect of it. But even if they do, make some changes and they're able to fix it, well, what did you do? Like, what happens if
right,
I get into another situation where I need assistance to improve my credit? What if I want to make it even better? I don't even know what they did. So you need to actually focus in on the education and the understanding of how to do it, not just giving it to somebody else and hoping that they fix it for you.
exactly, exactly. I see Erica's hand. Do you want, Shireen? Would you mind answering the question? You want to wait because I know we have one more question we wanted to cover. Uh,
Yeah, let's just get through this one. I'll get through the last question quickly.
Okay, so what advice would you give to a business owner who are either just starting their business or have already started and are looking for funding?
My advice would be to really focus on understanding your business model and what your business needs in order for it to grow. So, every business is at a different level. Like I said, every business requires different resources. So your priority is to understand your business model and what does your business need specifically in order for you to grow it and take it to that next level. Like I said, everyone wants the cash injection right away, but I mean, everyone's not ready for that, and everyone doesn't even need that. Some businesses, you just have to look at your strategy and think outside of the box. So I was talking to a client last week who, we were talking about business credit, but she had a great business idea. I know for sure, like once she gets it going, it's going to be profitable, but she was looking for funding to be able to, do like a large capital investment, get everything all at once. And I was telling her that you really don't necessarily need to go that route, because with this business model, you have you have a client. I don't want to put her idea on blast, but just like a general, there's a client customer who needs a service,
Mhm.
and there are people who's already in a way where you can basically just connect the two. Instead of you going out and buying everything to start the business, you connect the person that needs the service with the person that provides the service, and you're just literally playing the middleman. So your whole business model can be just starting out of building your base of customers who need the service, finding the people who can provide the service, and then you do all the work of setting things up in between. And they basically, once the customer pays, you pay the person that's providing the service, and then you keep the difference. So that doesn't require a large capital injection in order for you to start that. But what it does is it puts you in a position to where you can start building up the business income. And now when you are ready to scale it and take it to the next level, you can go, instead of you going to a lender and saying, hey, I have this idea, and here's how much I think I'll make, here's where I think the income will be at. I've never done this before, but I feel confident that it's going to work. Instead of you saying that, you say, here's this proven business model that I've already been doing. Here's my revenue. Here's my financials. Now I'm ready to look for some capital to be able to grow and take it to the next level. Which one do you think that they're going to be willing to invest in? So if you can get away with just setting up your business model in a way that doesn't require the capital, you don't even have to go down that route. And that's the what I like to be able to offer to people is, yes, financing is the primary focus of what I do, but it's not everyone doesn't necessarily need it in order for their business to get started and grow. So sometimes it's just a matter of, thinking about your business model and strategies that you can use to really help get it going.
Oh, okay, great, Erica. I'm
Look
glad.
at that. Look at that. We answered the question with the
Yeah, won't
question.
he do it, girl? Gotta do it every time. I'm trying to tell you, baby. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Look, one thing that I thought about when you were saying that is actually, I think I was sharing with you the other day, Sharaine, one of the referrals that you gave to me, she and I decided to do some bartering, right? Uh,
Hmm.
I'm helping her with some of her stuff to get ready to apply for some grants and stuff like that. We actually had one of our follow-up meetings today and one of our calls.
Awesome.
And she's gonna help me with some of this social media stuff, baby, that I ain't got time for. I'm just gonna send her the pictures and whatever. I'm just like, make it do what it do, boo.
Yes.
So you got to think out of the box, you all.
Hmm.
Think out of the box. You'd be surprised if you just ask. you know
Yep.
the Bible said we have not because we ask not, y'all. You'll be
Yeah.
better put it to work for you. I'm just
Right.
tell you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah, I do that too.
mhm.
There's certain businesses that I work with, and it's basically, hey, you give me free game on business credit, on financing, and I'll help you with XYZ. So
Yeah,
sometimes that's a way where you can get around having to put out a bunch of money just by literally, you offer me your service, I'll offer you mine, we help each other. It's a win-win.
exactly. Yes, yes. And another thing, and I think you and I, and I've been talking with somebody else too about it, a few of my colleagues, is coming up with a referral, program, affiliate program as well, and earning money like that too. So, if any of my referrals, are your referrals, you all, you refer someone, and you can already have that in writing and have the person, the business, whether it's a service or product person, you have that agreement with them to say, hey, if that referral signs up with you, then I just get, it could be a dollar amount or it could be a percentage or something, just whatever y'all agree on. So again,
Right.
you got to think out of the box. You
Right.
That might not be a lot, but it's something. And
Yeah.
like you said, I didn't even think about that. You can show that in your, financials and in your documentation to say, look, this has been working and it does.
Right, right. And I want to also piggyback on that by saying, it doesn't always have to be a home run. So, with your business, obviously we're all in business to make money, but you don't have to, it doesn't take $1,000 product or $1,000 service to make $1,000. You can sell a $200 product to five people and make $1,000. Like you can reverse engineer having things in your business that are an extension of what you already do, where it may not be like a large lump sum of income that it brings in, but if it's bringing in a little bit over time consistently, that's just I'll tell you, as someone who has both options available, those small consistent income that can keep your business like really going, because the home runs, they come, but they may come sporadically. So a lot of times, just slowly as you are, building your business, have those things in place where it's going to be bringing in income consistently on a regular basis, and that's something that as you build and scale that, then it can overcome the income that, was bringing in a large lump sum. So, don't count something out just saying, oh, it's only $20. That's not going to really help me. If you get 20 people, putting in $20, it adds up.
Exactly, exactly. So I know that covers our questions that we wanted to cover. And so I'm going to go in the chat. I know there's a couple of questions that's there already. I was trying to write something down. I didn't want to forget, but I'm going to go here to the chat. I know that Crystal had a question earlier and she asked, what's a good credit score to access funds?
All right. Hi, Crystal. Thank you for that. That's a very good question. So, the credit score is actually also an aspect that really depends on the type of financing that you are going after. So, with the small business loans, typically at least a credit score around 640. That's like the minimum where you can start getting some pretty decent terms. If you have lower than that, there are options that are available out there. But like I said, if your credit's not good, you're going to definitely pay for it in other ways. You're going to have higher interest rates. You're going to have, higher monthly payments. So that's something to consider. With real estate, most real estate financing options start out at like a minimum of 620 credit score. If you can get it, at least I would say 680 is where you start getting like good terms, but 620 is somewhere that can get your foot in the door. With equipment lenders, they typically will go on the lower end, so like 600 with equipment, because they are more so interested in the value of the equipment. So around 600 for equipment. And then what else? For the working capital, if you're talking like a business line of credit, they definitely want to see good credit. So for those options, we're looking, if you're just applying for a business credit card, that's like, 640, 650. But if you're looking for like a business line of credit, then you want to be at least around like I would say 680 to 700 to really get yourself in the door with that.
So what did you mention real estate?
Yeah, so real estate is at least, I would say minimum like 620, but around 680 is where you really start to get into the good terms. And I have lenders that go really low, like, sub 600 credit score, but like I said, when you're going that low, some options I don't even like. I can get you if you like really want it, we can look into it, but you're gonna have they're gonna really beat you up on them fees and those terms. So just be prepared that's what's gonna come with that.
Yes, I definitely understand. And Erica was saying, and I'm not quite sure, you probably need to come off mute. And anybody, if you all have questions, you can come off mute and ask your questions as well. Go ahead, Erica.
Okay, hey y'all. So I'm sorry I was working part of the meeting, but so Anita, I know that you do credit repair, and it sounds like what Sharaine, is that how you pronounce your name? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, great. Is talking to us is about other types of resources for our business funding. So she doesn't do credit repair. So if our credit isn't strong, do we need to sign up with you first? And then once we get our credit repaired and we're in a better position, and then we hire her to consult us on how to take full advantage of having good credit? Is that kind of the best route to take?
Good question. Now,
You want
me and Sharaine are actually working together. Go ahead, Sharaine.
I
Yeah,
was supposed to
so
say.
it's basically that. Thank you for that question, Eric. I'm sure other people are probably wondering the same thing. So Anita and I, we work together with the do-it-yourself credit repair. That's a system that we are both utilizing to help our clients be able to build up their personal credit. But I also have credit improvement that I do like on a personal one-to-one level where we meet, we talk about, you know, your actual credit report, different recommendations that we have to build it up, what your specific situation is, and how do we really get you in a place to where you can start building it up. So it's essentially, it depends on what type of credit assistance that you're looking for. If you're looking for more of a do-it-yourself where, you know, you have the system that you go into and it basically gives stuff of your credit. Here is, you know, the letters that we recommend that you send out. Here's things that you can do. And then with my personal credit improvement services, it's more of a one-on-one where we actually talk through the credit report. And I basically, you know, we have meetings regularly for, you know, over the course of a couple months to really just go through and do a deep dive into it. So it just depends on what type of option that you're looking for.
Definitely. So, um,
Thank you.
yes. So, yes, you know, you all, we were saying how important, you know, getting your personal credit needs to be before you start looking at, you know, business credit, funding, and all those things. So you definitely want to focus on that. And Sharaine offers, you know, more one-on-one help, whereas, you know, and she'll be utilizing the system, the DIY system that, you know, that I offer. So, like she said, you can either do it yourself and, you know, use the system. And you all, it's like, might as well say $50 a month, right? And you keep it as long as you need it. When you feel like you don't need it anymore, you can always cancel. There's no, you know, contracts, anything like that. However, you know, there's monitoring systems and other benefits to it, to where you might want to keep it because, you know, you have all these other insurance and stuff like that. So you might want to keep it. But that's totally up to you.
Mm-hmm.
What Sharaine does is she utilizes the system, but she's going to actually, she's the real person that's going to walk with you hand in hand through the whole process using that DIY system, if that makes sense. So
Right.
thank you so much for asking that, Erica. Um, Anyone else have any questions? And me and I know Sharaine are gonna be talking about a couple of our other free events and stuff. Well, events that we have coming up that we'll be sharing. I don't know if hers is free. I didn't even get a chance to ask her. Well, mine is, well, one of them. One of the things I want to talk about is, so any other questions though, before we go into that information? You all asked some good questions.
And there's no such thing as a stupid question. You know, don't be afraid to, you know, ask whatever you're curious about, anything that, you know, is a something that you're not quite sure about, maybe even a pain point that you're having with your business. Don't be afraid. And if you don't want to put it on blast, you know, you can always reach out to me one-on-one. But if you're comfortable sharing, feel free to, you know, let it all out, because chances are the question that you have, somebody else probably has it too, but they're probably too afraid to ask.
Exactly. And that's why we hear you all. Ask the expert. That's what it's all about. Because, you know, having them here present ain't nothing like, you know, your email is, you know, okay. But go ahead, Miss Erica. I saw you come off mute.
Okay, so it's $50 a month to sign up with you for what you do. So what is the rate for the more individualized assistance?
So with the individual credit improvement services, it's $250 over the course of 3 months.
That's way better than the people that got Anita early. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for pointing that out, Miss Erica. Yeah.
She said they got you, girl.
Oh, baby, did they ever? 2 times. I ain't even talking about it. I shouldn't even told y'all. See, now y'all gonna be like, Okay.
I know it's
Wow.
too soon, Anita, too soon. I'm sorry.
Well,
Girl,
well,
yes.
well, listen, the growing pains are a part of the process, you
Mm,
know, as long as you that I would say when you're trying to grow and you're trying to, you know, get yourself to that next level, sometimes you want it so bad that you just like throw caution to the wind and you just like, I'm jumping out there and I'm gonna see what happens. But the point is, in order for you to get big results, you have to take big actions. And it doesn't always lead to the result that you want, but it's never a loss. It's a learning experience. You're going to grow from it. You're going to be better after that. So it's always that's just, you know, that's a part of life, not even just business. So you know, we've all been there. I've gotten ripped off a couple times too.
mm,
So you know, you just gotta take it all with a grain of salt. And, you know, there are things that I feel like I've paid a lot of money for where I didn't get nearly the value that I expected to get from it. And it is upsetting as it is that there are people out there who, you know, will basically just take your money and run without providing the service that they said that they were going to provide for you. It's a learning experience. And I focus on, well, what can I take? I mean, there's 9 times out of 10, there's something that's in there that, you know, they taught you that made you be able to grow from the experience and be able to just take away little bits and pieces of the little bit that they did do. So it's just all part of the process. We've all been there.
yes, yes, yes. Look, I'm looking for stuff. I'm losing y'all. There y'all go. Yes, I appreciate all the questions. There's some awesome questions, you all. But like I said, this is a, you know, we a little bit over our hour time, but that's fine. If you all have questions, you know, we don't mind. Um, you know, you can still put it in the chat or you can come off mute. But however, you know, we're here to help because, you know, as me and Sharaine have been telling you all, we've gone through the struggles, you know, we understand it. That's why we do the things we do, is because we don't want people to go through the same things that we did.
Mhm.
You know, and that's why we have a passion for what we do and we work together like we do to try to serve, you know, to serve our people. That's it. That's to serve our people. That's it.
Right.
So
Right.
if there is no other questions, Sharaine, you want to go ahead and share some of your stuff and put it in the chat because I just put some
I
in
have one
there.
question.
Oh, yes, yes, Miss Stacy. How are you?
I'm fine and having major internet issues tonight,
You,
but
Oh,
it's good.
so my
Good.
question is, do they, when you're trying to get like the business credit, you know, even though she raised my daughter and I haven't had time to answer this, but it was on my mind. So when you're trying to get the business credit, when are they basing your personal credit score um for you personally for that business credit? And does that take into account when you're trying to get that credit, all your other assets and everything else that you have under you separately from the business, your personal space, if you know what I mean, like owning your home, like your responsibilities for yourself that drives that credit score, but it's not a part of the business. Am I making sense?
yes, yes. That is a great question, Mother. That you're so
Oops, get out
smart.
of the bag.
You're so
You
smart. I
know,
wonder where you got
Yes,
it
you
from.
I know.
Or I wonder where I get it from, I should say.
Yes.
Uh, but that is actually a really good question. So when it comes to business credit, it is completely separate from your personal credit. So there are certain financing options available where they have an option, what they call, so there's like recourse and non-recourse. And if you do a non-recourse, that means that you don't actually have to use your personal any of your personal name, your personal assets in order to guarantee and back up that financing option. So if you have certain options available to you where, now don't get me wrong, if you say, let's take example real estate, like if you get with a lender that is a non-recourse lender, then that means that will they look into your personal credit? They will, but what happens is the loan itself is not going to be backed by you personally. So even if you default on that loan, it's still going to show up on your on your personal like history that you defaulted on that loan, but they can't come after any of your personal assets because it's not, you didn't personally guarantee it. So they can't come, if you default on it, they can't come for your house, they can't come from, you know, any other investment properties that you may have. So that's important to know when you're dealing with the lender, or is it a recourse or a non-recourse lender? And with business credit is set up outside of your personal credit. So if your business credit is good enough, there are certain loans that you can get that you can use your business credit and the history and the revenue of your business to be able to back up that loan instead of using your personal. So business credit is built in a different way than personal credit. Business credit is built mainly through like trade lines. So you have your personal credit score and you have your business credit score. And there's a lot of similarities between the two, but they're just built up differently. Business credit is more of a process where you're setting up the trade lines, you have, net 30, net 60 accounts, and you can still monitor it. You get a score from 3 different credit bureaus, but it has nothing to do, your business credit score has nothing to do with your personal credit score. Now, your personal credit score can help support your business when it comes to looking for financing, but those scores are, they're factor completely different. So, if you mess up your personal credit, it doesn't impact your business credit score. If you mess up your business credit score, it's not going to impact your personal credit score. So did that answer your question, Mother?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Stacy. Good to hear your voice.
Good to see you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Awesome question, guys. Anything else? This is some good stuff here. I told y'all was going to be getting the sauce tonight, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all didn't believe me, huh? Yes.
We aim to please.
That's
You're
right.
gonna walk
That's
away with
right.
something, even if it's only one thing. You're gonna walk away with something that you can use.
And I'm glad you said that because I do like interaction on these virtuals, So if all of you all could in the chat, since it looks like nobody else have any questions, can y'all put in the chat one thing that you got tonight that either you're going to work on or something, you might need to get with one of us about, put one thing that you learned tonight or something that you're going to move forward on and hopefully in the next week or so. Because, the longer you wait, the more it ain't gonna happen.
Mhm.
Anybody know like me? I know that. So you don't want to procrastinate. You want to go ahead and do, start getting your stuff organized,
Mhm.
all the things you need to do to be able to, qualify and get this funding that you all need. So yes, Miss Sasha said, credit. I know that's right.
Yes. And don't get caught in the analysis paralysis of trying to have the perfect business plan, the perfect business model. That you are going to learn so much more once you get started than you can even you can try to be as prepared as possible. But I'm telling you, it's going to be, once you get started, the plan that you thought you had is probably going to go completely in the other direction. So you can have everything all lined up the way that you thought that is going to go and how it needs to be. But with business, it's about, you got to be flexible. You got to be willing to make a way out of no way. You got to be willing to, push past and persevere. So don't get caught up in, trying to make everything perfect in order for you to get started. Just go get yourself, have somewhat of a plan. Don't just, go in blindly. Have somewhat of a plan, but don't let trying to have everything perfect and, I need to know step 20 before I can start step 1. Start step 1. 20, yeah. Step 20 might not be the same once you get there. So just make sure that you just get yourself started. That's the important thing.
Yes, that is so true. I'm so glad you added that in there, Sharaine. because I've been there and I'm sure others have too. You just get started, do something, apply for your EIN number, do something, start working on your articles of organization and all those things. Okay, Erica, so did you use the link that I just put in the chat for real?
Yes, ma'am. At the bottom, I see the dude in the suit that you had the last meeting
Click on it too.
with. Yeah, maybe I'm looking the wrong place.
Let's see, get your guide, claim.
At the very bottom.
Okay, it says valued at 99.
Oh, reading is fundamental. It said valued at 99.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the let's see, claim your free do-it-yourself. Now that's the so now you get a free guide, a do-it-yourself personal credit repair and optimization guide when you sign up. So you'll receive that. He's saying that that's valued at 99. So
Okay.
yeah, once you go through those steps,
Okay, got it.
She-
Okay,
she's like,
thank
wait a
you.
minute. That's
I know.
not
right. And you
Trying to
look,
get
I'm
me too.
looking
She
too
trying to
like,
get me.
hold up now, hold up.
Where's the
Right.
discount code?
Yeah.
I know that's right. You had me
Okay.
scared for a minute. I'm like, hold up, whoa. I don't know
Thank
about
you. I'm
that.
sorry.
You good. All right. So yeah, so if nobody has any other questions, I know Sharaine has some stuff she has coming up. I want her to be able to share. And also you all, we just wanted to make sure that, because we want to continue to give you all of this, all of this very valuable information on, funding your businesses, your nonprofits, whatever it is you have or would like to start, right? So we definitely want to add you all to our mailing list. So we just want to make sure that you all, want to continue to be connected with us and continue to gain all the knowledge and wisdom that you can, because knowledge is power only, but only when you do something with it. Okay.
Ooh,
Let me put that in there. That's my step
amen.
3. Okay, so if you all saying yes, you don't mind being on the mailing list, go ahead and just put a Y in the chat if you don't mind receiving information from us, periodically or what have you. So we know that you want to continue to get learn about our new events. I know Sharaine is going to be sharing about that new booklet she's going to be coming out. I'm excited and ready for it, baby. I am ready.
Gonna be a good one.
And I'm doing working on some stuff too, some ebooks and some more things as well. So yes, you all. Yes. Awesome. So go ahead, Sharaine, start sharing about some stuff that you're gonna be doing.
Yes. So my next webinar actually will be next Wednesday. I'll be guest speaking on a webinar that focuses on multifamily investing, and I'll be discussing the financing aspect of acquiring multifamily property. So if you are interested in real estate investing and multifamily specifically and want to learn more about the financing aspect of that, make sure you tune in. That will be next Wednesday at 6 p.m. 5 p.m. Sorry. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll actually drop the Zoom link in the chat. And that is now the Zoom link, it's not like a registration. It's going to be like the actual link that you would use to sign in. So I'll drop it in the chat, but you're going to have to make sure that you set your calendar reminder with the information, so that way that you can tune in. And I'll also be sharing that on my social media as well. So be on the lookout for that, as well as I'll be sending out an email for that too. And the other thing I just wanted to mention was the Get Richer Guide to Building Business Credit is going to be a step-by-step guide on how to build business credit. That also includes the option to have a business credit card list, where you have a list of business credit cards that you can apply for, what their terms look like, what type of eligibility you need to have in order to have a good chance of getting approved for it. It also is going to come with a vendor list, that's actually the part that's taking the most time, is the vendor list, making sure that I'm vetting every single one of these vendors and making sure that they actually report to the business credit bureaus, and making sure that I have all the information, so that way I can just give it to you. You don't have to go out there and do the research yourself. It's already going to be laid out to you in the business the business credit guide. So be on the lookout for that. And then once I complete that, we're just going to keep building from there. We're going to, do one for personal credit. We're going to put together a guide for, starting an LLC. So, as long as I have your information, your email, you guys will all be in the loop on when all that stuff is being available to you, and be able to utilize it to grow your business, your personal credit, and continue to elevate and take yourself to the next level.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I have a few things. I don't know, you may have them already on your list for vendors, but I have a few that I would actually like to share with you. Maybe we can stay on a couple of minutes. I don't know if you got a couple of minutes after this, but
Yeah, sure.
that you maybe can add or at least vet that some people have shared with me, and I want to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do too. So, well, I started sharing it with other people too. So yes, definitely want to share that with you. So, thank you so much for sharing those things. You're putting your stuff, the links and stuff.
Yep, I'm putting the link to the for the multifamily financing Zoom
Yes.
that will be next Wednesday. And if you guys, I'll have your information from Anita for everyone that registered. So as long as you gave us the okay, so make sure you hit yes or put a Y in the chat, so that way I know that it's okay to reach out with you, and I can share more details about the Zoom as well as the other stuff that we have coming as well.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Sharaine. So a few things that I wanted to follow up with, and maybe, let you all know, and maybe get some feedback from you all as well. Let me know that you all enjoyed this, because like I said, this is one of the things, one of the visions that I received, once we got done with the Funding Your Future Summit. I was like, how can we keep this, how can we keep this party started, keep it going, right? So I was like, you know what? Let's continue to put out this information, with people throughout the year periodically, so that, it stays fresh on their mind, number one. And number two, when you want it all and you want to be in person with us or whatever, you'll have that chance once we have, more in-person events. And then the summit coming up again next year, 2024. So let me know. Tell me in the chat. I already saw Jabara with the fire. I appreciate that. Wow. I appreciate that. I love you, man. I love you, man. Thank you for sharing that. So if you all enjoyed this and you like this kind of setting, go ahead, like Jabbar, you can either put some fire in there in the chat or put some ones to let us know this is number one. We loving this and we want more of it. Okay, so let me know that. That's one thing. I also shared in the chat a couple of links. One link is for what I'm calling, and I don't know how this ended up happening, Sharaine, back to back. I was like, what was I thinking? Next week I'm going to Mississippi, but I'm going to be I'm still going to be working, but I wanted less work. So I was like, I don't want to do any of that kind of stuff while I'm visiting my mom and taking care of stuff with her, whatever. But tomorrow night and
Right
really,
back at it.
yes, really it was going to be just for my family, my church family. But I don't know, I was just late. I was like, you know what? Let me share it out with other people. It doesn't have to be a whole bunch of folks. But if you're interested in learning more about grant funding and how to become grant ready, some of these same things, it ain't gonna do the credit though, but some of the same things that Sharaine was sharing tonight, I share with my clients, and I share with people how you have to be prepared beforehand before you try to start applying for grants. And I'm going to be talking about that. So bring your questions for that. I'm going to be having it. I put the link for you to register. I put the link in the chat. And so this is going to start at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I'm going to try to keep it at an hour because, yeah, I'm tired already from this. So, so hopefully, Sharaine, if you're available, you can be there too. Might have some different folks, and we have some other questions that you can cover too. But I'll be doing that. It's going to be business basics. So some of those very fundamental things that maybe you hadn't thought about, and some of the things that she mentioned. But I'll also be talking about, I'll mention some stuff about NAICS codes and why those are important, why you need those, your Dun and Bradstreet number, some of those extra things, some of the registrations you need to do, sam.gov and things of that nature. I'll talk a little bit about those. Some of the other things that some people, number one, don't know about, or number two, maybe have heard of it and don't know what it is, why they need it, why it's important. So I'll be talking a little bit about those things. So if you're interested, go ahead and sign up and join me again tomorrow night. Then let's see. So that's that. I didn't put the link for the Funding Your Future Summit recordings, but we recorded the whole event. Sharaine and Miss Stacy, did y'all get the email with y'all links in it? Girl, I know you've been busy.
Yeah.
So
I don't
make
think
sure
I
you,
I'll
did.
check. When did you send it?
I think it was earlier this week. I sent it in one of my emerging venture enterprises emails. It might have been, yeah, it was just for the people that attended the summit. So look, I sent the whole thing. So only thing I didn't like, he didn't record the opening session at the end.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
I
he
did
didn't
get
get
it.
it,
I did get it. I
so
get so many emails, but
bombarded.
we've been back and forth a lot, so I really had to think about it. But yes, I think I remember seeing that email where you were
Okay, good.
talking
I just
about,
want to
yeah.
make sure you all get
Yeah.
that. So those that didn't make it, now Sharaine had her own workshop where she talked about all of this stuff. People had questions and stuff like that. We had people that help you start your business. Your nonprofit talked about it. We had a tax expert that was there. She talked about stuff that you need to know. We had a financial guru. He was supposed to be here tonight, but I guess he didn't make it. Tony Guy, he's there and he helps you with your personal, financial plan, getting your game plan on, okay, what I need to do, what do I have for investment, what do I need to do for that, budgeting, all that kind of good stuff. He had a free book he gave out. He still gives those out, you all. So those are just some of the folks. And of course, I had mine as well. And I had someone there talking about reverse mortgages, because I learned a lot about reverse mortgages in the past year or so. So all of those things are included in the Funding Your Future Summit recording. So if you're interested in that, definitely reach out to me, or you can put something in the chat if you want more information on that, purchasing that. Of course, I already talked about the DIY credit repair. That link is in the chat if you needed that. And my last thing that I have here is next month. I haven't chosen a date yet, so I'm gonna let y'all be my beta group right now. So I found that weekends people normally don't want to do this kind of stuff. So y'all tell me. Y'all can come off mute or put it in the chat if you want to. I'm thinking about doing another Thursday, well, Thursday night for this, but I want to have a virtual networking, right? We need to start connecting. We want to hear more from you all. We want to see y'all wonderful faces and for you all to tell us all about what you do or maybe what you want to do. So, because maybe you're just, you're just in the infant stages of what you want to do, right? So there's going to be people there that, you'll be able to connect with, because that's what networking is all about, getting your name out there, getting your brand out there, meeting other people and networking, right? So I'm looking at maybe the 15th of June. If you all would be interested in something like that, put it in the chat for me. Put me some more ones or tell me, yes, you would love a virtual networking event so you can meet other folks and be able to, venture out, meet others, network, find other resources. I love doing that. I love collaborating. I love, putting people together. So Miss Stacy said yes. So I'm definitely going to put you on that list. Jabori said yes as well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, once we start sending out that information, you are so welcome, Erica. Yes. Okay.
You're very
You
welcome,
have a good
Erica.
night. You have a good night. We'll see you next time, Erica. But you all, invite other people when we share these things with you all. Go ahead and share with other folks as well. The stuff that Sharaine has coming up, I have coming up. We want you to share the knowledge because we just want to be able to help as many people as we can, basically, right? And
Right.
we need you all's help as well, just like you need our help. So let us know what you do. We can share your information as well because we love doing that. All right. Well, that's all I have, you all. So if there's nothing else, anybody have anything
Yeah,
else they want to add?
yeah. I just want to say, Anita, this is Stacy. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, Miss Stacy, you good.
My internet is messing up so bad today. I just want to say from that summit, it was very, very informative, and I worked with actually two of the vendors from the summit.
Okay.
And I actually had a call last night Jeannie connected me to someone here in New Jersey on her, line of business that she was working with. And I had a couple sessions with Tony Guy on
Okay.
trying to do some things there. So it was great networking, and I'm looking forward to your 2024, and I will be there. But I want you to know that it was very productive for me, very informative.
That is so awesome to hear, because
Yeah.
it was a lot of work went into it, a lot of sacrifice.
Uh-huh.
A lot of sacrifice went into
You
it.
did that.
So,
Uh-huh.
girl, that was nothing but God, but I appreciate you all.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you, because I didn't have no strength. Let me tell you, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
I
I'm
didn't have no
sure.
I
strength.
can't even imagine, but you
So,
did that. That event was amazing.
that
It really was.
I couldn't have done it without you all. So I appreciate you all as well. And so thank you so much for those kind words, Miss Stacy. And I can't wait to see you then too. All right,
All
Miss Tasha, thank you so much. Thank you. And we hope to see you at our next events, everybody. So, like we said, stay connected with us. We look forward to seeing you all next time. And you all be blessed and have a wonderful evening.
All right.
Have a great evening, everyone. Thank
Good
you
night.
for joining in.
All right, everybody.
Alrighty.
Sharaine, you ain't gonna jump
Love
out. You
ya.
stay on for
Oh
me.
yeah, I forgot.
Love your daughter.
I was creeping out the door too.
No, I
Have
know.
a good one. See y'all.
All right, Miss Stacy.
Have a good night.
Yes, yes, you all. So good night, Jabari. I'll see you Sunday. Uh-oh. I missed it. Thank you all so much. And I'll be talking to you again soon, Nikki. I'm gonna be sending you that stuff, okay? Glad you joined us. Thank you so much. And thank you. Is it? I know she got Kiki up there. I think her name was Kiana or something like that.
Yeah,
Kenny,
Kiana.
thank you so much. Are these any people that you know, Sharaine?
Yeah, let me
Oh,
see.
cool. I know Nikki is one somebody that I knew and I invited.
Yeah, Kiana, that's family.
Okay.
Thanks for coming, cousin.
All right. Awesome,
One
awesome.
of the doctors that I work with, Dr. J.
Oh,
Thanks for tuning in.
yes, 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 yes. So we're gonna say goodnight to you all. Me and Miss Sharaine, we got a few things we want to cover. So we'll see you all next time. We're so glad you all came, and we look forward to seeing y'all again. Okay. So stay connected with us.
They hanging out. They said I ain't going nowhere. But why don't we do this? Why don't we just like exit and then you and I just sign back in?
Okay.
Okay.
All right then. All
All
right.
right. Good night, everyone.
We're gonna end the recording. All right. How do I do that? Here we